Weird. Weird.
People often feel uneasy around Sigma males, and they don't even know why. It's not rudeness. It's not arrogance. It's that Sigma behavior doesn't follow the social script. What feels cold or distant to others feels completely normal and logical to them. They're not here to perform or play along with shallow social games. While the world runs on forced smiles and fake charm, Sigmas move with quiet authenticity, and they don't apologize for it. Here's a strange truth. Some Sigma males go years without forming new friendships, and they're completely fine with it. To others, that sounds lonely. To a Sigma, it's peace. Shallow bonds feel like noise they don't need. Psychologically, they score low on social conformity and high on internal validation. They don't adjust to fit in. They live by their own compass. And when forced to choose between being accepted or being authentic, they'll pick authenticity every time. Let's break down 7 subtle things Sigma males do that unintentionally offend others. Number 1, they genuinely don't care if you like them, and you can sense it. There's this subtle tension that appears when you're trying hard to make a good impression, but the other person seems completely unmoved. Most people will, at the very least, pretend to care about being liked. It makes socializing easier and keeps things smooth. But Sigma males, they don't play that game. You can feel their indifference, and it's not arrogance, and it's not apathy either. It's a logical stance. If they're not harming anyone or doing anything unethical, then how someone else feels about them isn't really their concern. This throws people off, especially in professional environments or casual social settings, because there's this unspoken social contract that says we should all try to be agreeable, to smooth over discomfort, to strive for likability. But Sigmas, they don't engage in that performative dance. They're polite, sure, respectful, even, but they won't go out of their way to win you over. And that alone can feel like rejection. Even if they haven't done anything overtly negative, people misread their self-containment as arrogance or coldness. But in reality, they're just minding their business, avoiding drama, and refusing to dilute their personality for approval. What really unsettles others is how this challenges a fundamental belief that everyone should care about being liked. As Ralph Waldo Emerson put it, to be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest accomplishment. Sigma males live by that idea, and it leaves people questioning why they've spent so much energy chasing approval in the first place. Number 2, their stare feels like an X-ray to your soul. Have you ever been mid-conversation and suddenly realized someone was looking at you too deeply? Not just watching your face, but really watching you, as if they're trying to decode something hidden beneath your words? Most of us make eye contact out of courtesy and occasionally look away to keep things comfortable. But Sigma males? Their gaze has weight. When they lock eyes, it doesn't feel like small talk. It feels like scrutiny. They aren't just hearing you. They're observing you, reading your micro expressions, scanning your posture, picking up on the unsaid. At first, this level of attention might feel flattering, but after a while, it can start to feel invasive, overwhelming even. That's because Sigma males are hyper-observant by nature. They collect data from everything you do, not just what you say, and they do it silently. While others are distracted or just going through the motions of a conversation, Sigma males are focused on the layers beneath the surface. This depth of perception can make people feel like they're being exposed, even if the Sigma hasn't said a word out of line. It's not what they say, it's what they see that makes people squirm. Carl Jung once said, "Everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves." And in the case of Sigma males, That discomfort you feel under their gaze often reveals more about your insecurities than it does about their intentions. Number 3, they don't care about your status, only your substance. Few things rattle people more than being treated like a regular person when they're used to special treatment. Whether you're the CEO, the social media star, or just someone who usually commands attention, most people expect a certain level of deference. Sigma males don't play by those rules. They treat the janitor and the executive the same way, respectful, neutral, and unimpressed, until they've seen real evidence of integrity or intelligence. Your title, your money, your influence, it doesn't matter. To them, status is just noise until your actions say something meaningful. This can be deeply offensive to people who've grown used to being admired or automatically respected. When a Sigma male doesn't acknowledge their position or validate their ego, it can feel like a slap in the face. But here's the thing, it's not personal. Sigma males simply don't buy into the illusion that status equals worth. They operate on the belief that real respect isn't given freely. It's earned through consistency, character, and substance. As Maya Angelou once put it, when people show you who they are, believe them the first time. Sigma males live by this. They don't care who you claim to be. They're watching how you behave. Number 4, they stay off the radar, deliberately. Have you ever tried to ask someone a basic question about their life, like what they did over the weekend or where they work, and walked away with nothing? Just vague answers like not much, or some casual dodge that leaves you no closer to understanding who they are? That's what it feels like trying to get to know a Sigma male. While most people naturally offer up personal details to create bonds and build trust, Sigma males operate in a completely different way. They intentionally keep their lives under wraps. If they don't want you to know where they've been, what they're up to, or what their future plans are, you simply won't. You'll hit a wall every time. And it's not just about being off social media. Even in face-to-face conversations, whether at work, with friends, or in familiar social circles, they maintain the same cloak of low-key privacy. One moment you see them at a party, the next you find out they've been off traveling for weeks without telling a soul. They might be skilled in a niche area, training in silence, or navigating huge life shifts, and no one around them has a clue. It's not secrecy for the sake of being difficult. It's intentional. It's calculated. It's how they control the narrative of their life. For the Sigma male, sharing personal information isn't a casual or automatic thing. It's selective. If they choose to open up, it's because they decided you've earned that access, not because social norms expect it. To some people, this guarded nature can feel like rejection. Friends may feel slighted, coworkers may be thrown off, and romantic partners might feel like they're being kept at arm's length. It's especially frustrating to those who equate privacy with suspicion, or see openness as a sign of trust. But the truth, Sigma males aren't hiding secrets. They're protecting their peace. They're shielding their personal world from unnecessary drama, shallow opinions, and external influence. Their motto is simple. If it's not relevant, it's not public. Number 5, they take the wheel without asking first. We've all been in that group scenario. People are standing around, confused, wasting time debating nonsense. One person wants to talk it out forever. Another person is too passive to lead. And someone else is just throwing complaints into the air without doing a thing to help. While most people in this situation will wait for someone else to take the lead or ask permission before stepping up, Sigma males don't wait. They just move. They assess the chaos, see the inefficiencies, and start fixing things. Quietly, decisively, and without hesitation. Now here's the key difference. Sigma males don't have some ego-driven need to dominate or be the boss. They're actually happy to follow someone competent. But the moment they detect incompetence, indecision, or energy being wasted, they switch gears. They don't ask. They just start making decisions and redirecting the group towards solutions. To outsiders, this might seem abrupt or even disrespectful. But to the Sigma male, it's not about control. It's about clarity. They value results over hierarchy. And when nobody else is stepping up, they don't see any reason to wait for permission. And what really throws people off is how they handle pushback. Instead of arguing or justifying their actions, they'll simply say, "Cool, then you take over." They'll hand the reins to the person who's complaining and invite them to solve the problem. 9 times out of 10, the complainer backs off because they weren't looking to lead. They just didn't want to follow. This habit of taking initiative can ruffle feathers in environments where leadership is expected to be earned through politics, approval, or seniority. But Sigma males don't care about titles. They care about momentum. If a situation is spiraling and no one else is steering, they'll grab the wheel without blinking. Number 6. They know things you never knew they knew. You're in a casual conversation, and suddenly the Sigma male you thought was just listening drops a deep insight about psychology, war history, startup culture, or some obscure philosophical theory. And you're left blinking like, wait, how do you know all that? This is one of the strangest things about Sigma males. They're walking libraries, but they don't act like it. Most people wear their knowledge on their sleeve, talking openly about their interests or proudly displaying their expertise. Sigma males, they study in silence. They collect knowledge not to impress, but to satisfy their own curiosity. So when they do speak up, it's often a moment that shifts the entire tone of the conversation. You suddenly realize they've been quietly paying attention, absorbing, analyzing, thinking, and they probably know more than they're letting on. To some people, especially those who are used to being the smartest person in the room, this can feel threatening. It disrupts the hierarchy. If you've built your identity around being the most informed, and then someone comes along with unexpected insight, you feel exposed. But the Sigma male isn't doing it for one-upmanship. They simply enjoy mastering systems, diving deep into ideas, and understanding the world on their own terms. They don't need applause. If they share knowledge, it's because the moment called for it, not because they want to shine. Their knowledge is for function, not flattery. Number 7, they don't chase, even when they're clearly wanted. Let's be real. Modern dating often runs on a script. One person shows interest, the other plays hard to get, and then the dance begins. Texting, attention games, and the expectation that if a man's interested, he should pursue aggressively and prove himself. But Sigma males tear that playbook in half. Even when a woman shows clear interest, a Sigma won't jump into desperate pursuit mode. He may like her. He may respect her. He may even feel strongly drawn to her, but he won't bombard her with messages, compete with other guys, or beg for her attention. That kind of needy behavior? It's not in his DNA. And for women who are used to being pursued, this shatters their expectations. They're used to attention being a given, a form of currency men are always willing to pay. But when a Sigma male doesn't pay that toll, it feels like rejection. It feels like disruption. But for the Sigma, it's not a strategy. It's just truth. He'll show authentic interest, sure, but he won't abandon his self-respect to do it. He doesn't beg for time, doesn't chase indecision, because if she's truly interested, she'll meet him halfway. No convincing needed. To those who expect the chase, this feels like a glitch in the system. But that's exactly why Sigma males stand out. They don't play roles. They don't inflate effort to prove worth. They remain grounded, detached, real. Because here's the thing. The moment someone expects to be chased is usually the moment they stop offering real value. And the Sigma? He doesn't chase breadcrumbs. He walks his own path. And either you match his stride or you get left behind. If that mindset speaks to you, you already know where you belong. Subscribe now to Wolf Mode Activated, where we break down the game without playing it. Drop your take in the comments. Have you ever walked away instead of chasing? And as always, stay clear, stay confident, stay in wolf mode.